Hello Internet, welcome back to our Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead series. In the last episode, we headed north into town here. We were pushing for this gun shop. We got there, and of course it is mostly empty because why would that ever reflect the real world gun shops in the United States? So pretty much nothing was found in this gun shop. While we were up there, we were looking for an NPC, but they have disappeared from our map. I suspect they may be dead, but we'll probably go back up there and check and hopefully maybe find something in the future here. And then we basically just explored a bit around town, exploring some of this urban sprawl or whatever it's called. And then we headed back to base to sleep, which took significantly less time than it did in previous episodes, thankfully, so hopefully that means the processing is speeding up a bit. And that's where we'll pick back up. You cough heavily. Oh, I am not scaled up. There we go. Things look a little bit better now, a little bit more like they would normally look. Alright, so you cough heavily, so we need to take another dose of cough syrup, which is unsurprising. How long have we been sick at this point? Probably only about 4 or 5 days. Last time I had a common cold, it lasted about 2 weeks, so I suspect we could be in for a long haul here, but we have plenty of cough syrup, thankfully, which saves us a lot of grief. We just slept, so we don't want to take the drowsy kind, so we'll take the non-drowsy cough syrup. Fantastic. And while we're here, we might as well make some more. Why don't we make another meat pizza? It seemed like that gave a lot more calories than the cooked component meat would have given us, so yeah, only takes 2 chunks of meat, but it came out to be about 2,000 calories total, whereas 2 chunks of meat are only about 800 calories on their own. Now, we are limited by our flour. Of course, we can't cook this infinitely unless we go out and make our own flour, which is totally doable. It's something I used to do in the game a lot. Let's just make 1 portion of... Oh, no, use the chunks of meat. 1 portion will do. Yeah, when I first started playing, 99% of what I ate in the game was flour products, because I would take cattails, I would use food processors, and every time I say it wrong. I usually say cairn, but people told me it's quern. I don't know if that's what the right word is, but basically it's a big mortar and pestle that we would make flour from. If we look here, we should still have a cattail recipe. You'll see we can use cattails to make flour, and you can make quite a lot of flour this way. Nowadays it does take a really long time because I believe, oh no, it looks like you can make it directly from cattails. Previously you had to turn the cattails into starch and then the starch into flour, so it took a really long time, although crafting was much faster back then. And obviously using a food processor speeds that up considerably, but it looks like you can go straight from cattails to flour, so this would be really easy to make flour nowadays. Looks like. I'd have no idea what the amount that you would get out of that would be, but we'll take our meat pizzas. Why don't we get those cracklins out of here as well, since they're rotted. We'll just dump them on the side of the road here, because that's what you do in the apocalypse. You become a litter bug. Although I'm sure the birds would eat cracklins. I always gauge it by, would I feel comfortable throwing this out my car window? And the answer for cracklins would be yes. You know, if I had a little chunk of beef jerky or something like that, I would be fine throwing that out my car window, or dumping a bottle of water. But then other things that we dump, obviously we would not do. Like, I'm pretty sure I would not throw books out my window. Just spoiler alert, don't do that. That's a great way to not only be fined for littering, but also possibly kill someone. So let's eat this meat pizza, and we'll have a few swigs of pine needle tea. What was that red message? You can't taste much of anything with this cold. Yeah, that's not a huge concern to me. I'm not really bothered by my character not feeling particularly like they are eating tasty food. Doesn't really concern me. I don't eat tasty food. I eat very mundane meals most of the time. Yesterday I had my family made grilled cheese with ham in it. I think, is that what a Monte Cristo is? Monte Cristo, I think, is the name of that sandwich. I hate ham, not a big fan, but, you know, family was cooking, so I'm not going to say no to free food. And then today, they made, basically it's just a big pot of bow tie noodles that they boiled and put some hamburger in, so just not the tastiest thing in the world, but again, I'm grateful that they cooked it all, otherwise I fend for myself, and when I eat my own food, I probably would have ended up eating a burrito, and I'm trying to lose weight. Did I tell you, by the way, I've lost like 15 pounds. Have I mentioned this yet? It wasn't even hard, to be honest. Like, it's been about probably about 6 weeks since I started really to lose weight. And at first it was like every day I got on a scale, it seemed like I was a pound lighter than I was the day before. And now it's stabilized. It's hovering right around 15 pounds that I've lost. But I've also started lifting, so I'm wondering if I just have hit that equilibrium where like I started burning fat and I lost a bunch of weight, and then once I started working out again, now I'm putting on muscle and it's kind of balancing out the weight loss. Because I feel thinner. I don't think I look thinner. I mean, I guess I kind of do. A little bit. My gut is a little bit less noticeable. I need to lose about another 20 pounds to really feel like back to my old fighting weight, basically. But I do feel fitter. I feel thinner. I don't feel as heavy as I normally do. I'm hesitant. I don't think we want to melee the wrestler, but I would like to draw some of your attention because I still want to find that NPC. Oh no. I was gonna say that's where the NPC is, but it's not. It's a UGV that is shooting the zombies. So if you're unfamiliar, UGV is an unmanned ground vehicle. You probably are familiar with the term UAV, which is the drones, but it's essentially the same type of thing, only it's a ground vehicle. So usually they have tank treads, usually they have like a high caliber cannon on them. Well, cannon's not the right word. Like, actually, I don't know what the exact definition of cannon is, but basically just a high caliber machine gun, essentially, is what they usually have. It says here that it's an M16, which I find a bit peculiar that it's just a standard M16. So that's what the shooting is. And since we had the NPC disappear, what I think happened is the UGV shot some zombies and it made noise, so the NPC came out, and then I think the UGV killed the zombie, or the NPC. I'm gonna go up until I can see the weapon. You should not do this, by the way. If you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do that, don't do that. We're gonna back off because the zombies are more focused on us than the gunshots. So my guess is that it's far enough down the road. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna be able to hit the Flesh Raptor in melee. Why don't we try? I never try meleeing. You hit my rucksack, bro. I just put this thing on. So my guess would be that it's further down the road, so they didn't have eyes on it. If they had eyes on it, they would go after it. But I think they're just kind of trailing over because of the sound, and then once they saw us, vision is more important than sound, so they started tracking down towards us instead. I think I will go to the M4 here. I don't believe robots really respond to sound very much. I don't think we need to worry about it coming after us. But these pupating zombie and the regular zombie we should deal with here. I also don't think sludge trails... Yeah, actually, I was going to say I don't think they affect robots, but of course they do. Robots are still monsters. So they, you know, they're not vehicles. If they were vehicles, they would not affect this, be affected by the sludge, but they're not vehicles. They're just creatures in the game, so probably they are affected by that. All right. So I think the NPC is dead. So the first NPC we've really seen and had planned to help is now dead. We see a soldier zombie as well. I'm wondering if there's like a barricade up here and that is why this robot is here, because I can't think of any other reason why there would just be a robot turned loose in the regular streets like this. I know in the future they want to fix some of that. Like, it doesn't make sense how much military gear is deployed in the world. It would make sense more for this stuff to be law enforcement. Like, all the barricades we find, every now and then we find a military barricade. They're a little too common, the soldier zombies and stuff. The amount of people who get deployed in this game, sorry, my throat already, man. I can't even record one episode without my voice cracking. I really... you would think by now, after years of doing this, I would be more comfortable with my voice, but I guess probably being a smoker. Alright, so what do we see here? There's some at the pond. This is not the outdoorsman shop like I thought it was. This is a diner. Not super relevant. I wanted to get into the outdoorsman shop, but I think that's kind of where Oh, so they are all over here straight away. Okay. I'm not sure why you're all in a pond. Exactly. There's another soldier zombie. What's over here? Maybe they're coming from a subway station. Used to be when I first started playing, there was some decent monster density at subways, but I don't think really it's very common. Obviously, the construction site would not have soldier zombies. Doesn't really make sense. That's the second open sewer, both of which are, well, this one is pretty inaccessible due to the flaming eye that we saw up here, and then the UGV, which I suspect is right around here. So I don't think we would want to go up to the sewer there. Down here, I mean, you're close to a park that we know was pre-generated before the park changes, so there's probably a ton of enemies over there. And the sewer can spawn technicians, which is still a place to get CBMs, even though the shockers don't have them. I would like to get in the outdoorsman shop. I just want to know what's kind of in there. I don't really remember going to one. I'm guessing most of you saw me while I was poking around over there. We do have a sludge trail between us and them. I bet we can just walk it off. Oh, hello, Shrieker. I'm surprised you tracked me down here. Alright. What was I talking about? I don't know, man. Every time we record, I want to talk about YouTube, but I'm trying not to do that. Oh, weight loss. Yeah, so lost about 15 pounds. I could stand to lose probably about 20 more, but I'm already lighter than I've been for like 5 years, so I feel pretty good about it. And then, you know, I don't have a lot of equipment at the house, so I've been zombie child. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled for a corpse that may be connected to the survivor that was here. Where's this soldier zombie? Across the street. A lot of soldier zombies. I bet there is a barricade up there, but the UGV is mobile. It's not a static turret, so that's something we need to be mindful of. Homeopathic pills. Some Arum triphyllum homeopathic pills prepared through the dilution of the jack-in-the-pulpit plant with 10 to the 30th power parts water. The label claims that the pills are able to treat voice loss. I cannot imagine that this does anything. I am certain that this does absolutely nothing in the game. So I don't want you. I cannot imagine they have value. So we're going to be careful as we push up. So the UGV is mobile. It's not a static turret placed at a barricade. It can roam around and it can kill you. Now they do have a limited number of shots. I don't remember how many shots they have, but I know that they can ruin my day. Last time I saw a UGV, I believe was in, I was making the mission guides for the hub, and there was one that spawns at the end of a hub mission. And yeah, the only way I could deal with it before it killed me was to throw grenades at it. So I don't really want to waste my grenades on something like this. And the outdoorsman shop is pretty basic stuff. Just some basic tools. Looks like they do have some non-perishable food down here, which we should grab. Yeah, not super impressive, but again, this is sort of what you would expect to find in a outdoorsman shop. Not really anything special. I'm a little shocked to see flip-flops. I don't know any outdoorsman who wears flip-flops. Everyone wears boots. You know, like you're not going to go hiking in flip-flops, obviously. Oh, you were a little boomer. I didn't even notice. You were wearing a tuxedo and a union suit, of course, and a motorcycle helmet. Man, you were really going out for the evening, I guess. And a leather touring. So you're wearing a leather touring suit and a union suit, which is just bonkers. And then you're wearing over that a tuxedo with a motorcycle helmet, motorcycle boots. Not only motorcycle boots, slippers as well. So that to me is an indicator that their item group is not working properly. And that they pull from too many groups that overlap, so that's not great. Let's fall back. The outdoorsman shop was a bit of a bust, and yes, I know we could go and pester the UGV. Oh, they're coming from the bank, of course. So that's where the UGV is from, would be from the bank, probably from the bank alarms. I believe the old Secubot, or whatever it was called, I think someone had said that they wanted to phase them out because they don't make sense, because they're just kind of, they should just be UGVs. It just makes more sense. So possibly that's what happened, and those can spawn as a result of the alarm in a bank going off. So my guess would be that's what's happening. they really don't propose enough value to be worth looting. So I don't think we really want to go up there. They're only going to drop like an M16 with a few rounds. We don't need the ammunition that badly. It's not worth engaging. Like, turrets are a much safer thing to engage for ammunition. And we are going to continue pushing to this subway station. Remember, we wanted to look and go underground and see if maybe there's a lab down there. And again, I really suspect that there isn't, but we should check anyway. And we did see quite a few zombies at this pond, so either they moved north after the additional gunshots, or they may be under the water, which would be bad for us because they could crop up at any second and ruin our day. So I think, oh, and we see the technicians over there. Man, they are just technicians. They would be good to get some CBMs. Get some CBMs. Okay, so we should what the heck is this? Pile of trashy rubble. What is this? It's a landfill? Man, I really wish stuff like this made more sense. Can you name a single town that has like this is not a big town. This is like a couple hundred people live here. Very small town. By our game standards, this is like maybe a medium, like low-end medium town. Do you know any small or medium towns that have a landfill smack dab in the middle of town? Just the answer is no. No, you don't. It just doesn't happen. So why not make landfills? One, make them bigger, because this is also tiny for a landfill. And secondarily, why not? So make it bigger, and then why not make it a rural building? We already have a very limited number of buildings that spawn out in the like wild rural side of things. You know, we were driving around, we found like, what, 5 of these light industries because there are so few buildings that can spawn out there. So make it a rural building, make it a huge landfill that takes up, 4 tiles or whatever, and plop it down in the countryside. Don't make it one tile that spawns in a town. That doesn't make any sense. I'm happy to see a dump. It's always nice to see new buildings. But one, you don't seem to have spawned any enemies here. It seems like, why didn't you put the wretched puker and like the rust zombies here? It seems like a place that they would spawn, and that is just kind of, I just don't get it. I don't get why you made it an internal or a urban building. A lot of technicians. So here's the issue: if we pull more than one, they're like guaranteed they're gonna rip our weapons out of our hands before we can kill them. And if it's just one, the cooldown on their magnetic pull attack is long enough that we could kill them and get our weapon back before we really got into any trouble. So like, we would hold our spear, or we would hold our gun and we would try to shoot them, and if they ripped it out of our hands and we were kind of poorly ranged and it got disarmed from us, we would swap to the spear, we'd close ground with them, and we would kill them with the spear before their ability recharged. If there's like 6 of them coming at us, we're going to constantly lose our weapon because they're going to disarm us one after another. So unless I can pull you one at a time, which I do see other zombies here. You're a regular zombie. There's one coming from up north as well. Let's fall back and deal with the fat zombie. We see a shocker zombie as well. Also from the sewer. In daylight, it'll be tight. The range on that magnetic pool, as we saw previously, is bigger than I previously thought that it was. So I don't know if we can really take them all without getting our stuff ripped out of our hands. Because basically last time we saw one, it was about at the edge of our vision range and it still pulled our weapon. And our rifle, although it's a rifle, ranges in Cataclysm are very short, just because of the nature of the way the game functions and range and stuff. So even if this can shoot out to like 20 tiles or whatever, it's just not practical most of the time. Maximum range is 36. That's honestly much bigger than I expected. What's my rifle skill? 4. Also pretty good. Marksmanship is 4. I mean, it's dangerous to do this when there's so many of them, but we're gonna try. Oh, did I turn generic guns on again? I had been testing something. I may have turned on generic guns. I didn't even notice. Not generic guns, sorry. So basically, we've been asked, to not call it generic guns. They prefer if we call them gun brand names or whatever, because that is the setting, and a lot of people, you know, the mod of generic guns exists, and we don't want to confuse people. So, oh, hello, regular zombie. Yes, I'll go back to my spear to kill you. Do not grab me. Bruh. Do not grab people. That's so disrespectful. Okay. Anyway, trying to eat better, trying to be healthy, smaller portions, trying to eat like, you know, normally when I might eat a snack, like I buy these really cheap bean burritos, which I like, but usually I snack on them in the evening. I'll have one. They're very small, like they're mini, like they're snacks. They're not like huge burritos that you would eat for a meal. Yeah, you know what? Just given the monster density and the technicians, I don't think it's worth it. Oh, hello, ferals. I didn't even notice you. You have an axe, you psycho. That's a great sprite. I like that a lot. Just the guy in a business suit with an axe. I love it. Yeah, given the monster density and the danger that comes from us possibly losing a weapon, there's just too many of them. I don't feel comfortable going at them. We really should, because we do want CBMs. I still don't know if I want to take on 8 zombie technicians. Like, look, 9 zombie technicians. It's crazy. I've never seen them spawn so many, by the way. Every time I come to an open sewer and I'm like, yeah, let's go get CBMs, I get there and there's like 1 technician, and you're like, oh, I guess I don't get any CBMs today. So I'm really shocked to see like 8 of them. Wonder if they bumped up the spawns since they removed shocker CBMs. I doubt it, right? I don't think they would do that. Anyway, we're gonna ignore this, I think, for now. Let's go check the 10 zombie technicians. Good God. Okay, let's go check this subway. Maybe we can get down there and find some goodies. Usually they have a glass entrance all around, but I guess it's just one direction, which is also a huge bummer, because if there's zombies up front, we're gonna have to clear them. Why is there just glass here? Okay, we're gonna have to clear them to get into the building. Let's just be real careful. We approach the road. Gonna paint a happy little bush. All right, so we're gonna pop in here. One of you is gonna come at me, I think, but that's okay. Oh, zombie runners, huh? I don't see them much anymore. They've been largely, I think, replaced with ferals instead of the zombie runners. Oh, saw quite a few things. Where are you all? Okay. Oh, you're down in a building together. Okay. This subway is not even built. Great. That's great. Oh, there is. Okay, thank God. I thought the stairs were in the middle, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, does this mean it's in progress? Like it's under construction? Now we are going to be a smidge careful here. Being underground does not mean we're safe. Not only do enemies spawn down here, obviously, which is what we're seeing now. Is that a full fence? What is this? Subway station metal fence. So they probably can't smash through the metal fence. So let's, can we hit them over the fence? No. Oh, and that is open. Well, great. This is not, let's go upstairs. This is not great. Please come upstairs. Please come upstairs. Pupating zombie hit you. You know what? We have armor. Just face tank this freaking thing. Now we have sludge everywhere. Man. Do you have sludge on that top? Of course you do. Well, let's clear the steps if we're going to clear the sludge trail. Because us moving through it, remember, clears the trail behind us. So now we have access to the stairs again, and we can use the sludge trail to slow down enemies if we get ourselves into a dangerous position. But anyway, so even though we're underground, this is dangerous because 1, enemies can spawn down here, and 2, gunshots aren't really insulated by the ground. So in real life, let's say you're in a subway station and you pop off like a rifle, nobody's going to hear it, you know, halfway down the block across the street. But in Cataclysm, soil and stuff like that, it doesn't insulate sound. So if we start shooting in the subway, those zombies are going to migrate up here, and when we come back to the surface, they're going to be waiting for us at the subway station. So being underground, not only are there enemies, but we need to be very mindful that we don't get ourselves in a position where we have to shoot. Because if we end up shooting, we are inevitably going to get ourselves in trouble on our way out. And because this is a single subway station, we know, man, this guy has armor, so it's going to be a little tough to get through. Because it's a single station, we know that there's not really any other station attached to it. So even if we go down and there's like, oh yeah, there's a track down here, it doesn't matter because it's not going to connect anywhere. Like if we look at the ground floor, this is the only subway on this whole map, this whole little town here. So it's not going to connect. Like I think there was one way up north here somewhere. It's not going to connect all the way up here, you know? It's not going to connect all the way across the map to another town. So this probably doesn't go anywhere, but I feel like we have to check it out since people said like, oh, the easiest way to find a lab is to go into subway. So we might as well. We heard things to the east, but it looks like this is a dead end, so it may wrap around over here. What is this? Thin smoke. Oh, that probably means there's a smoke. No, if there were a smoker, it'd be much bigger. There is another pupating zombie for sure, though. Hello, tough zombie. Please walk in the sludge. Well, you're a smart one. You don't want to walk in the sludge, I guess. Okay, that'll do. There may be another pupating zombie up there because these sludge trails are not connected. I don't think it's a smoker. This may be coming from a vent in here somewhere, or it may be just placed here to add some atmosphere, that kind of thing. I would have expected this to be locked. Oh, why are there so many tools in here? Brick kiln, concrete mixer, metallic smoother, jackhammer. With an unlocked door, people are going to steal your tools. Oh, subway maintenance map seems real good. Let's get to some daylight so we can read this. Also, there are separate stairs? Okay. Let's read this map. Maybe it will show us the connections. You add subway lines and underground. That's fantastic. So let's go down a couple. Wow, you actually do connect to other towns. I'm shocked by that. Underground level? Well, what are the blue? Why are these blue and those are yellow? Subway, so that's a lab. That's a lab right there. Subway station question mark. I would recommend any contributors who are watching this, you should probably make the symbol for the subway lab. You should make it probably the same color as the other subway stops. I also don't think they should be revealed by the subway map because I would think that would be hidden. So that's interesting, but we just found 2 labs. How about that? Oh man, the issue is, okay, well let's go over here and let's check the surface and let's see where this connects to. So there's a small town over here. I'm trying to think of how we could get our vehicle closer to one of these stations because we're not driving it over here. We can't. With the sewer and the parks and stuff, we can't do it. And once we get underground, I don't think there's anything. This would not be on the surface. And it's 2 floors down. I mean, I think you can mine. I could dig down to it and build stairs and stuff. It would be so much easier to access with my vehicle. Because, like, let's say we loot the lab. We gotta walk all the way back across town just to drop stuff off. So it's going to make these longer trips really bad. So what I think I want to do, you can't carry vehicles up and down stairs. We should make a foldable foldable shopping cart. That will make things easier. And we should pack food and drink. We should go back to base. We should go back. In fact, let's call the episode. Everybody, thank you for watching. We will explore the lab in the near future. We will go back, probably make ourselves a foldable shopping cart. We'll pick up food and drink so we have stuff to drink and eat while we're down there. And we're going to just take probably a crap load of ammunition. So for now, Internet, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with more Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead in the near future, of course. And I'll see you in the next video.